My best friend somehow found my crush at a bar and had a one-night stand with him, but he was gone when she woke up, so this time, even though she knew I had a crush on him, she slept with him again at my birthday party. Posted by u/midtownwitch. For context, I, 23F, have known my BFF Vicky, 23F, for 7 years. We are very close and we could always rely on each other. On the other side is my friend of 2 years, Chris, 28M. Thing is, I have a huge crush on him, but unfortunately it looks like he friend-zoned me. Like he told me a few times I'm crazy attractive and all, but at the same time he turned down my flirt attempts. Until yesterday they never met each other, or as I thought, but I have often spoke about one another. About 6 months ago V told me that she met a guy in the club and they had such great chemistry that they went to her place and had cracked, supposedly the best in her life. But the guy was out in the morning when she woke up and she didn't have his phone number nor any social media info. I believe you know already where I am going with that. Yesterday I was making an early birthday party for my friends and I invited people from my different circles of friends. So yeah, he was on time and she came half-hour later. I went to greet her. She immediately noticed him from the hall and was very surprised. As we were alone she told me that he was the guy from half-year ago. I was blown away and was only able to stutter that he is my crush. Next dozens of minutes were awkward for them. They said hi and then it looked like she avoided him a little. At this point I somehow already regretted that they met at my party. She took me to the side and told me that she had no idea about who he was and that she will leave him alone. Next few hours all the people were having a good time. But I was a little down. I noticed that they started to talk with each other and drink and dance. Later that night we all went to an outdoor event close to my place. After midnight I was quite wasted. Usually I do not drink much, but yesterday I could not stop myself. I somehow had this plan concocted in my drunk mind that I will ask Chris to escort me back home. I wanted to split them as he was spending more and more time with Vicky. But it somehow didn't work well for me. I didn't even have a chance to ask him as 2 of my other friends quite literally dragged me out and we went home, and I do not remember that part well either way. When I awoke today with huge hangover I could not think about anything else than Chris and Vicky. I've invited all PPL from the party to my place for cafe and wine/beer. At the same time I was talking with 3 people that I remember were there most probably until the end. My friend told me that Chris and Vicky were making out at the end and they left the party together. Some people came but Vicky and Chris arrived at my place at the same time. I was trying to act normal and not to make a scene, but I was boiling inside. It was obvious they had cracked. He was fond of her but she again tried to avoid both me and him. I suppose that at least she didn't told him my secret. An hour later this after-party had ended and since then Vicky was avoiding my messages. 2 hours ago she just sent me message asking to meet tomorrow and she wrote that she is sorry. Right now I could not think straight. I'm trying to justify that, me and Chris are just friends, we are not couple or anything. I could not claim him. At the same time I am furious about making this stupid party where they found each other again. To be honest, Chris had a dozen relationships past 2 years that we know each other, and probably more one-night stands or something similar. He is quite a ladies' man and I was always jealous. But for some reason I could not stand him being with Vicky even more. Commenter 1, he isn't interested in you, so you should try to move on from the idea of being involved with him. It also seems strange that your supposed best friend didn't really care how this would make you feel. You should take a step back from them both and maybe hold off of the drinking for a bit. That said, your behavior when getting drunk sounded manipulative. Don't act like this again, another reason to stay sober, as it will make moving on harder and you look bad because it's unstable. You shouldn't be getting yourself drunk and plotting to get the guy to take you home, even if it's yours, so to speak. Regardless, this situation is clearly bringing you down to a lower level than I'd imagine you want to be at. Keep your distance and focus on other things. Oop, I'm not getting that much drunk often. I still do not know what happened to me. And I know this plan to split them was really stupid. I've never acted that way. I suppose my emotions screwed me over big time. Update, 5 days later. I met Chris 2 years ago. I fell in love with him at first sight. I could praise him for hours, but that is not the point, so let's skip this part. I was a little bit shy around him at first, so I didn't make a move initially. We met at my workplace and he introduced me to other 10 people. I started to hang out with Chris and rest of the pack both in work and outside of it. Most of these people were quite young, below 30, so we were partying whenever we could. After a few weeks I overcame my shyness and I tried to flirt with Chris, but I think it was already too late. I was already in his friend zone. He rejected my subtle attempts to pick him up. Over the time we grew even closer and started to hang out alone, only 2 of us. We could go to dinner together, go shopping, or just hang out in front of the TV at his or mine place. Looking back at it, I think it was always a substitute for a date for me, but it was never the case. During these 2 years, Chris was in and out of the romantic relationships many times. On the other hand, I was not involved in anything, mostly because I hoped we will be together at some point. But last week I realized that I am going nowhere. It had been 2 years and I missed my chance. My biggest headache right now is that I think I won't be able to move on as long as we are still friends and we are seeing each other on nearly daily basis at work. At the same time, I am heartbroken when I think I should end our friendship. Our friendship and our time together is still important for me. Update 2 weeks later. We have been friends for more than 2 years now, and I have had a crush on him since the very beginning. I was not really able to confess, flirt, or ask him out at the very beginning, so we became just friends. I really value our friendship, but it is really hard for me since I was always looking for something more with him. Lately I realized I cannot go with it any longer, I just have to try. I am really scared of rejection, but I understand now that even that might be beneficial in a long run. So yeah, I've asked to meet up with him today. I mean, it is not that weird for us, we are spending time together on almost weekly basis. This time will be different. I am ready to confess my feelings and I want to do this. I'm still wondering on the details and how I want to do this, but I have to do this, it is long overdue. I'm trying to prepare for this like for some kind of public speaking or presentation, but I do not know if it is a good approach. Should I act spontaneously and not plan everything? Is there any good method to overcome anxiety? Update 3, 2 days later. I almost messed this up in every possible way. We had dinner and for a few hours I was not able to force myself to start this topic at all. We almost parted our ways, but as we were talking in front of restaurant, we figured out no one had better things to do on Friday evening this time. So we agreed to spend some more time together. We went to 2 other places to drink and dance a little, and me being me, I still was not able to say anything. That was just heartbreaking at this point. I had a last chance. He told me earlier about some projects he was working on, so I asked if I could see it. We went to his place, had one more glass of wine, and were chilling for a bit. At one point we were teasing one another, in a playful way, and messing around. He was tickling me, and to make him stop I pinned him down. I have no idea what I was thinking at that time, but I kissed him. I immediately panicked and backed off, and he was like, "What was that?" I was scared like hell, but I told him that we have this unique bond, and for some time I was feeling like I would like something more and asked him if he could see us as a couple. He told me that he really appreciates our friendships and trusts me a lot, and then complimented me a little. But next thing he told me was really earth-shattering. Basically, he didn't think I might be into him romantically. He reminded me about one conversation we had. It was after my last breakup. I said something like, "There is no man I am really attracted to," which was straight up lie. I was attracted to him, just couldn't admit that, and because of it he was never thinking we could be a couple nor anything like that. I told him it was a stupid thing to say then, and I am attracted to him. So yeah, he proposed for us to try this and we kissed. I felt so happy and relieved, and I started crying a little. But he was really comforting about it. And then one thing led to another, and I was really great end of the day and all. So long story short, we are meeting today again for a real date. It will be a little bit weird as we already have trust and intimacy from our friendship that is usually built during dating. But it is nice to try it. I cannot wait. I think I was never so happy.